Hey boys, welcome back to NRL Supercoach Season 2021. It's going to be the Round 7 review. Going to be going through the score, going through the positives and negatives, all that sort of good stuff. But yeah, as you can see, I scored 1244, which we'll get into the nitty gritty in a second. But I knew I'd score. I was looking at it, I'm like, we're going to score around that 1200, 1250. And I was like, it's definitely not top, but I thought it would rank a little bit better than top 18%. Dude, we lost 477 ranks with a 1244 score. This was a frustrating week. In terms of, it could have been so good. It could have been such a good week for me. The two trades I ended up making were like very, very good, and I feel like, honestly, I've done some good trades. I feel like I've made some really good decisions, and I've been pretty unlucky the last few weeks, dude. I've been pretty unlucky, and I feel like a lot of people probably have had a bit of bad luck as well. But man, we just can't. Other than the first couple of weeks where things were rolling nicely, we've just sort of hit just things aren't quite going for us. But overall, 1244, we're down now to 2,861 rank, which is, it's not bad, but from where we were a few weeks ago, it's definitely disappointing to have dropped. But let's go through the team. Let's go through the winners and losers, so to speak. And as this loads up, we'll start out here with the as you can see, the forward pack. The dummy halves again. I mean, Jayden Brailey 68, got to be happy with that. Connor Watson 53, solid. He's had a couple of downish weeks. Probably some people are thinking about downgrading Watson to maybe Jake Simpkin. I personally think Watson is. He's a borderline keeper. I think I'm definitely going to hold Watson until round 13 anyway, because the Knights play that first bye round. So, yeah, having Watson is very, very handy. And, Simpkin, we might talk about him later in in a few weeks, but he looks like a really good player, but is he going to score that many points? I'm not too sure. So I'm happy with Watson and Brailey for now. The first trade, so Pangai Jr. We brought in Pangai Jr. for Tino. Pangai 500 and I think I picked it was like 520, 510, 520. Absolute bargain for Pangai Jr. He scored 100. Playing 80 minutes on the edge. I think he was an absolute steal. Was he a must-have? Honestly, I think he is in the front row. If he doesn't get suspended, I think he is a must-have in the front row, because the other front rowers, like Junior Paulo, again, 41 points, they just don't have the consistency that I was expecting. I definitely think Big Payne Haas is definitely going to be the... I don't know if he'll score the most points of the front rowers because he obviously missed the first 4 weeks, but I think Payne Haas is going to finish the best front row option. But I think, Pangai Jr., I think Pangai just has that upside. He just has that upside. So I was very happy with the trade. I think it was a great decision. If he does something silly, his previous record, he's going to get a few weeks. But I'm pretty happy with the Pangai Jr. pickup. He was so cheap. He's still cheap. Honestly, if you're looking to upgrade a front rower, one of these guys that's underperforming, Pangai Jr., he's about to definitely increase. Like, his average is 70. I don't know why his price was so low. He definitely had a couple of quieter games, I guess, but yeah, he's a bargain for that price. So I have a look at Pangai if you're looking for a front row option. I wouldn't, I think there's better back row options potentially. So I think front row is definitely the spot. Like we said, Junior Paulo, underwhelming. Stefano Utoikamanu, 28. Didn't get many minutes this game. I don't know what happened. The Tigers were very, very abysmal. But honestly, the first stanza when Utakamanu and Tamo were out there, that was when they played their best footy. So I don't know. I don't know if he had like an injury or something, but yeah, Utakamanu just didn't play as many minutes as usual. I don't know what happened there, but you know, I hope he can get a couple more price rises, and then yeah, we'll look at upgrading or downgrading him to someone coming through. Spencer Leniu. He's another one that, I mean, the last few weeks now, he's not really getting the minutes. He's not really scoring the points that I thought he might. I mean, he was starting out scoring like 40s and going really nicely, but now he's definitely dropped down to those like 20s to 30s. So yeah, Spencer, he's going to be a slow burn, and he might not make that much cash. Then we get into the back row where it was just an absolute cluster, dude. This is the start of the sort of the unfortunate events that occurred. So Barnett 58, not the worst. You know, pretty content with 58. Angus Crichton 61. Again, he's not getting those attacking stats. He's so close, but he's not quite getting the tries and the line breaks, but almost. And then Hudson Young 31. So then we'll talk. So Tohu Harris didn't play. Tyrell 39, and Sean Bloor. Hopefully he's back soon, dude, because I went with him at the start of the year just because I thought, you know, we'll save a trade. Hopefully he comes back soon and gets a spot in that starting pack. Hopefully. But yeah, so the carnage, Tohu Harris obviously got ruled out, which I knew in advance, which is handy. It would have been an absolute nightmare if you know, because they were playing the last game of the round, so it was nice of the Warriors to let us know early that he was going to be out. So that wasn't too bad. Obviously, I ended up switching Hudson Young to start, and then I found out freaking Hudson Young got dropped back to the bench, which I honestly, Ricky Stewart, what are you thinking? Like, Hudson Young has been one of their best players for the year. Like, last week, you know, he missed a few tackles, and there was one try there that got scored where he missed a real shocker. But Elliot Whitehead missed the tackle as well. Like, him and Whitehead on that edge missed a really soft tackle that let a try in. And Hudson Young gets dropped back to the bench with Papali'i, and I'm just like, really? Like, I don't know, dude. It was really weird. But honestly, I knew he went back to the bench. I still played him. Obviously, I could have played Tyrell Fuimaono, who he scored a little bit more, so I wouldn't have really changed things too much. So it was sort of, you know, whatever. But I was expecting Hudson Young to still probably come on after like 20 minutes and then play big minutes. But he only came on. He only probably played like 20 odd minutes. He came on a bit into the second half. Then he went off for like 10 minutes and then came back on for the last like 5 or 10 minutes. So yeah, he scored. Honestly, for the minutes he played, he scored better than expected. Like, he could have scored like 10 or 20 points for me, but he got 31 in very, very short game time. I'm furious about this one though, dude, because now Corey Haruanaira is now on the edge there, and I honestly, dude, I don't really rate Haruanaira. Obviously he's got the attacking upside, but I mean, Ricky Stewart, you know, he was dropping plays for their their defense. Haruanaira is not known for defense. Like, he misses a bunch of tackles, so I'm like, surely Hudson Young gets that spot back, but I don't know. I'm sort of, now I'm worried that Hudson is going to get relegated to the bench and be used as more of a middle forward, which if he got more game time, he could score well, but yeah, I might end up having to trade Hudson Young out, which is a disaster. I was happy with the pickup. It was a pod move. I thought he was looking really good. He scored well last week. He's got that attacking upside, and then yeah, just because the Raiders are playing like garbage, he gets relegated to the bench. So yeah, pretty disappointed there. So we'll have to wait and see what happens this week with the team list. Yeah, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens there. Moving into the halves. So this is where it was sort of a so bad luck and also good luck, I guess, this week. So our starting halves killed him. Mitchell Moses, he's starting to do some good things for me. 79 points, got to be happy with. Cameron Munster 82. I mean, it was a game. It was a game that the Storm absolutely destroyed them. Munster looked like he wasn't going to score many at all, but still got 82. It looked like a game he could have scored well over 100, but it was sort of the Jerome Hughes and Nico Hines show in that one. They were just sort of dominating, and Cameron Munster, you got a couple of attacking stats in the end of the game, which was nice. And then Schuster 74 again, just probably honestly. He's looking like a keeper dude at 5'8". And then Sammy Walker, 125 points. So this is where if Tohu Harris was playing and Hudson Young was starting, I definitely wouldn't have played Sam Walker. Like 100%, I wouldn't have played Sam Walker. It would have been Hudson Young as my fourth reserve and Tohu Harris into the starting side. Now, if Harris was playing, obviously he starts, and then Hudson Young was on the bench. I don't know. I don't know if I would have played Hudson or Sam Walker. I might have gone with the upside of Walker, but I'm not too sure, honestly. So, yeah, it obviously stuffed me around, but it also led me to basically have to pick Sam Walker as my... I mean, I didn't have to. I was tempted. Well, not... I was sort of tossing up going Fui Maona. I was like, oh, Fui, he'll definitely... he'll knock out 40 points. Like, he'll get a safe 40. Sam Walker has the chance to get like 20. So, thankfully, though, I thought about it for a bit longer, and I was like, you know what? The potential for Walker to go big... It's a little bit more valuable than losing 20 points, so to speak. So I went with Sammy, and he absolutely killed it. He is just an absolute star, dude. Just an absolute gun. He's a freak. So yeah, Haas were just the absolute just killed it. Look at the scores. Our Haas were on fire. Then we move into the back line. So the centre wing, Blake Ferguson, 75. Got to be happy with. Kurt Capel, 51. Decent. Decent. Not the worst. Stephen Crichton, 60 points. I've got to be honest. I said, I don't know, I think I said I was going to trade out Crichton last week. I was definitely tossing it up, but at the same time, I was like, I can't really afford anyone too incredible. So I think I basically thought I might as well just hold on to him for now. And honestly, Dylan Edwards coming back into that team, Crichton moving into the centres is the best thing to happen. I'm like, oh man, I'm still furious that he was so bad at fullback. Like, I picked him up. He was scoring, averaging like 50. He was fairly cheap, and he'd moved to fullback, and you're thinking, here we go, he's going to get more ball, he's going to get more chances, he's going to score, surely he's going to score a little bit better, and he plays awful. He is not a fullback at all. Maybe in a few years he could become one, but my God, he is not a fullback. He just... I don't know. He doesn't get involved. He doesn't do anything at fullback. So him in the centres, honestly, he looks so much better. He actually runs the football. He actually does do. He does stuff. I don't understand. At fullback, he barely touched the footy. Whenever he did, he just passed it. And at centre, he just ran it, which was great to see. And he also made more tackles. So honestly, Stephen Crichton, he's another guy. I talked about Pengai Jr., but Crichton, if you're looking for a centre wing, honestly, Stephen Crichton, he's pretty cheap. I actually think this is probably bottom dollar for Crichton. I don't think he's going to get too much cheaper than $380. If you're looking to upgrade, maybe you still got Tessie New, if you're trying to get rid of like James Roberts or someone, I don't know how I'm going to get rid of bloody Roberts, but if you're trying to get rid of some of these other guys, Stephen Crichton, he's a bit of a smoky. I'm not saying to get him, but for the price and for the attack the Panthers have, I think Crichton is a pretty decent option. Because he probably started the year at about 450, 500, so he's definitely undervalued. So, yeah, he's probably not a bad pickup now to get, moving back to the centres, but still, I'm happy he's starting to score some points for me. It feels a little bit better. And then Dane Laurie had the Tigers were just pretty shocking. Dane Laurie, honestly, 33 in a game like that, I'm not too displeased with. He didn't get any real attacking footy. That was pretty much all just hit-ups from the back, and yeah, not the worst. And then the fullbacks, oh baby, the fullbacks. So so Tommy Trbojevic, I brought him in for Pappenhausen, and I put the C on him. I am somewhat salty because he was on this score with like 25 minutes to go in that game. So yeah, that's another area where I was a little bit unlucky. I mean, I'm sort of like, yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, it's like, yeah, I can understand. You know, they got the game won. You don't need Tommy out there, but if he's back from the injury, if he's fit, like, just finish the game, for God's sake. He hasn't played for goddamn, he hasn't played for the first 5 weeks of the season. You know, get some running into his legs, like get him fit. But yeah, he scored 118. I can't be too disappointed. He's been pretty good since he came back. And then we have James Tedesco, who got knocked out and scored 17. Now, dude, the captaincy. Honestly, the only two options that I was looking at were Tom and Tedesco, and I was flipping a little bit. I'm like, Anzac Day, Tedesco, the Roosters. I mean, the Roosters destroyed the Dragons, so if Tedesco actually played the full game, he probably would have scored really well. So, I was expecting a big game from Tedesco, so I was tempted to go the captaincy on Jimmy, but thankfully I went with Tom. Basically, I was like, you know what? I'm trading out Pappenhausen for Tom. I'm only bringing him Trbojevic because I think he's going to score big. So why not put the captaincy on him? That's what I went with, and it definitely saved my week. Otherwise, it could have been, it could have been a disaster if we captained Tedesco, dude. So yeah, that's the week. That's the week right there. Yeah, some definitely some good stuff, some bad stuff. I mean, my decisions personally were exceptional. Bringing in Trbojevic was a great move. Bringing in Pangai Jr. was a sensational move. So I'm happy with my decisions, but yeah, a couple of things just not going right for me this year. Which that's Supercoach, man. That's Supercoach. I think I won all my leagues this week, so I think a lot of, I don't know. That was the thing that sort of. I was surprised I dropped so many ranks because it felt like a lot of teams would have gone not great with the stuff going on, but yeah, that's how it is. What was I going to look at? I mean, as you can see as well, with the trades I made last week, it did free up 282,000, which is very, very nice. I've got to be honest. Getting rid of Pappenhausen, who was like 800,000. I think was honestly the move to make, because Pappenhausen, he's probably going to be gone for like 3 weeks, and I don't know, he might not make the Origin team, so you could potentially bring him back before Origin, but yeah, I still think that was the right decision. And then yeah, other than that, it was just sort of a good week. But the biggest issue is not having David Fifita. Dude, watching that game, it was so frustrating. The defense on Fifita was embarrassing, and he scored 3 tries again. It's like, what is happening? Oh man, that's the thing. I mean, I was talking about, I don't know how I didn't go up the ranks, but that's the kicker, not having David Fifita. I think it's like 50% of teams have him, so yeah, it's a nightmare. I actually wanted to look at the front rowers for a second, and that's dude, Isaiah Papali'i as well. He just cannot stop scoring tries. It's like, what is happening? What is happening, dude? But this is what I wanted to talk about with the front rowers, dude. So I was talking about Pangai Jr. And just the underperforming nature of these front rowers. Obviously, Papali'i is the anomaly here with Pangai, and also Ryan Sutton is going nicely. But yeah, Papali'i just, I mean, he's scoring tries, which is just, I don't understand. He just can't stop scoring. It's freaking baffling. But other than these two, I mean, Christian Welsh has been pretty solid. He's definitely, if you started with him, you'd be pretty happy. Daniel Saifidi started amazing, but is, not not great. 3-round average of 50. Fisher Harris, 3-round of 56. Junior Paulo, 3-round average of 39. David Klemmer started the year amazing, but again under 50 for his three-round average. Marty DePau actually has started to go up the pecking order. But yeah, Josh Papali hasn't been getting the minutes. Fodawaker has been okay. Campbell Gillard. So there's really, and then Takiaho has been out. Well, he was out last week. So it's been tough. It's been tough in the front row. I thought there was so many really undervalued good front rowers, but they're just not quite. I mean, Josh McGuire apparently is. I don't think he's playing well for the Dragons. I actually think it's a terrible signing. Can't stand Maguire, but he's scoring some points. I wouldn't go in, but yeah. So yeah, I don't know, dude. The front rowers. If you're looking to upgrade one of these guys like a Paulo, if you got Klemmer, I think Pengai. I mean, look at the price difference, dude. Like freaking Papali'i. He's at 700k. But let's have a look. Are there any cheapies? I think I sort of missed any of the real good cheapies coming through. The big fella Greg, I wouldn't really go him. He's never going to get big minutes. Toafofoa Sibley. He's a good player, but again, he's more of an impact. He's not going to score too well. Anyone else? There's really not. There's not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I mean, Suaso Su, yeah, not scoring great. Dylan Napa has looked okay. You could go like Ryan James still, but yeah, there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot to go here, dude. Yeah, I'm not really keen on too much, honestly. I know. I mean, Josh Kerr was sort of interesting when he was getting that back row spot, but now he's definitely switched. It looks like he's on the bench now, not getting that starting back row spot. And then yeah, there's Matt Lodge. Probably missed the boat a little bit with him because he's definitely gone up. But yeah, that's the issue for me. I'm gonna keep Junior Paulo. I'm not gonna trade him, but there's not many options. There's not many options in the front row stock. So yeah, the back row, I definitely. I think it might be. Yeah, like I said, it's time to Hudson Young. We'll see. If I'm hoping he gets the back row spot back because I want to keep him. I think he's a good pod and I think he'll score well. But yeah, if he gets benched again, I might have to get rid of Hudson Young, unfortunately. And I'm definitely not going Papali'i. I think he's too expensive and he just can't keep scoring tries. And I feel like he's not going to get the starting spot when Madison comes back either. So I think he's a bit of a trap. Dave Fafita is well beyond reach now. So yeah, hopefully he can stop scoring hat tricks and that'd be nice for me. And then anyone else in the back row? I mean, I've got Tohu, I've got Pengai, I've got Barnett. Cameron Murray has started to look a little bit better. Dude, Tyron Peachy. Dude, I should have got Peachy. I should have got Peachy in the back line, dude. And I still might bite the bullet and trade out like Kurt Capel for Peachy, honestly. Maybe. I could trade out Tessie New for Peachy, but we'll talk about more of that sort of stuff later in the week. So this was the round 7 review. We'll quickly go to the leagues before I forget. Just have a look at sort of the scores for the week. That's the public league. We don't need to look at that one. So yeah, this is our first league. So we won this one. Gutherson is up top of the. Well, look at the points scored. How we going? So we're sitting around 6. There's still, I mean, people are still scoring pretty well. Harry Sharks are going nicely. Who have they got in their team? They got 6. Well, it doesn't show for this week, but we'll look at their team quickly. So yeah, they got Dave Klemmer, Toby Rudolph. He's been an okay little pickup. He has Dave Fafita. That's the clincher, dude. He's got your Hudson Young as well, unfortunately. Teague Wilton. Teague Wilton would have been a good pickup as a cheapie, but yeah, definitely missed that boat. Josh Curran, he also got, who looks like he might get suspended. We had Nathan Cleary and Sam Walker. Good halves for sure. Alex Johnston, he's definitely a roller coaster, dude. He's been scoring like under 20 points and then finally getting like a few tries. But Tom Opicic as well, dude. This is definitely a different team for sure. Definitely different teams, but he's gone pretty nicely there. We'll look at second league here. So this one's going a little bit worse. We're in third here. So up top here, just a few points in front. Finn. Let's have a look at his team. So Damien Cook, you know, he went with Cookie, which is, I mean, not a bad, at the start of the year, it's definitely not a bad option, but unfortunately Cook just hasn't quite, hasn't done that well, considering like Brayley and Connor Watson and the sort, and he had Jacob Little as well, who unfortunately has been dropped. Josh Papali'i, Offengawi. He has Dave Fafita as well as Isaiah Papali'i, so he's got the two guys that are killing it. He still has Jordan Ricky. I'd probably look at trying to get rid of Ricky. Although Alex Glenn is obviously injured, so Ricky might he might get that. He's got that back row spot again, so he might start scoring a bit nicer. So it might be a decent pickup or like a decent hold, because he held him. Tyrone Peachy. I'm jealous that he's got Peachy in this. Actually, has he got him? Where's he got Peachy? In the forwards or the center wing? Center wing probably. But regardless, yeah, center wing's a little bit weak. With like Charlie Staines, unfortunately, he's. I'm still happy about getting rid of Charlie Staines. Honestly, he's done a couple of scores, but yeah, I can't watch guys like that, dude. Too frustrating. And then we'll quickly look at the third league as well. Let's have a quick gander. And then Foodsters. He's killing it. 6,278. Who's he got? So yeah, Christian Welsh, the Knights boys there. He's still got Takiaho, unfortunately. He's got Dave Fafita. Nathan Cleary. He's got Brian Toto. Yeah, the first guy, the Toto, definitely a good pickup. He's actually owned by 31%. Dane Gagai, also good. Daniel Tupou, boy, he spent big in the outside backs, and it's paying off. Jermaine Asako, he was a good pickup at the start of the year, 25 points this week, but still going pretty nicely. And then, Clint Gutherson. Yeah, he's got Clint Gutherson. So, bit of a pod there with Gutho. 8% own him, but yeah, decent pick up there. So, hopefully, you guys are enjoying the Supercoach action. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next.